Right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's webinar. Today, we are going to be talking about making sense of digital marketing with Amanda Buzzle. So I am super excited for all the great info she has to share. And so I will hand it off to her in just a minute. But in the meantime, I just want to go over a couple housekeeping items. The first one is next week, we will be having a webinar on financing your business. So please sign up for that if that topic interests you as well. You can sign up for there, the same place that you signed up for this webinar on grownebraska.org. Also, this month's webinars are sponsored by BW Telecom. They are our featured sponsor for this year's webinars. We have lots of different sponsors who support our programs here at Grow Nebraska, but we wanted to give a special shout out to BW Telecom. They have been a member since 2012, and they are headquartered in Benkelman, Nebraska. So thank you so much, BW Telecom. Also want to give a shout out to Marathon Press. They are this month's featured member. They have been a member since 2020, and they are located in Norfolk. So thank you so much to them for being a member and for letting us give you guys a shout out. In addition, if you like this webinar and you want to learn more about digital marketing and about digital pivoting, I encourage you to sign up for the Marketech conference that is on July 15th. This year's theme is all about digitally pivoting your business. If you plan to attend, you should be prepared to come away with a much better understanding of all of the online marketing opportunities that are available now and how you can integrate some of those strategies with your own business. So we will be hearing from more experts. We will be hearing keynote addresses from internet marketing expert David McBee. He'll be talking about making the digital pivot and then digital marketing ROI, which means helping you guys make sure that you are getting that return on investment for all of the time and money that you're spending on your online marketing. Registration for Marketech is now live, so you can go to marketechconference.com and register to attend there. Members get a special rate. You can also sign up for an exhibitor booth where you'll be set up in our networking plaza, and you can show off your products, show off your business, connect with other people. Just really great opportunity there. You can also sign up for that at marketechconference.com. So now it is time to start our webinar on making sense of digital marketing. This is a casual webinar today. So if you have any questions during the presentation, please put those into the chat and Amanda will address those at the end of her presentation. We love questions, so if anything pops into your head, don't be afraid to put that into the chat. If there isn't time to answer questions, my contact info is going to be on the screen at the very end. So feel free to email me and I can answer that question for you, or I can connect you with Amanda. So I will let her take it away.
All right. So what do you think of when you hear digital marketing? Do you think about social media? For some people, Google AdWords come to mind. Some think about email marketing. And then there are others that don't even want to think about it because the options can be overwhelming. And understanding what to try can be a bit daunting. I've found that clients I work with are all over the place when it comes to their understanding of digital marketing and the types and tactics available. And a lot of times small business owners and entrepreneurs, they've heard of the terms associated with digital marketing, a lot of times from advertising reps that are calling on them, but they may not completely understand the differences and the capabilities of each type, or they feel like it's a foreign language altogether. So my hope is that by the end of this short presentation, you will have a better understanding of the terminology and capabilities of the different types of digital marketing, specifically digital advertising, so that you can make a more knowledgeable decision as to what to implement in your own business and what will complement the other tactics that you're using in your marketing mix. It's a digital world, there's no denying that. In fact, 95% of people will search a business or product online before making a purchase. Now, my approach to digital marketing is to layer it with other tactics. I never want to put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak. And this comes from almost 20 years of experience in the marketing and advertising field. As an in-house marketing director for nonprofits and for-profits, as an advertising rep calling on clients just like you, and as a communication instructor at the college level, which definitely forces me to stay up to date on the latest trends and research. And now I take all of that I've learned and continue to learn and help small business owners make sense of the digital marketing options that are out there. And trust me, there are lots, and help them choose and implement the best tactics that work with their overall marketing plan. So first, let's talk about the different types of digital marketing. These include paid search, targeted display, video, native, and social media. Now, this will be a high-level look at each of these, and know that there are a lot of things we won't be able to cover in this short webinar, and there are a lot of other options out there, but these are the ones that I see and use most often. First, we're going to talk about and take a look at paid search. There's a lot of confusion when it comes to paid search and some of the terminology used in terms of search. So let's start with the terms SEO and SEM. SEO stands for search engine optimization and is the practice of increasing the quality and quantity of website traffic, as well as exposure to your brand through non-paid search engine results. This is also referred to as organic search results, and it's accomplished through the content on your website. So things like the text, the images, and the videos. You've probably heard your website person or company talk about this, or you may have received training on it yourself. This is usually a term that most people are familiar with these days. On the other hand, SEM, which stands for search engine marketing, includes paid search advertisements that appear at the top of the search result for relevant terms on search engines like Google. So advertisers bid on keywords that users might enter when looking for certain products or services. And this gives the advertiser the opportunity for their ads to appear alongside results for those search queries. So when you search something like, say, transmission repair, you have your organic search results that show up on the page, and right above those are the paid search ads. So here I've shown a graphic in the kind of greenish color. Those are the organic search results that come from SEO. And then the pink, the stuff at the very top, that's the paid search for the SEM. So the ads that appear at the very top of the page, these ads, they're all often known as pay-per-click ads or PPC. They come in a variety of formats. Some are small text-based ads that actually look like the organic results, but there are others such as product listing ads that are more visual and product-based advertisements, and they allow consumers to see different important information at a glance, such as price and reviews. So search engine marketing's greatest strength is that it offers advertisers the opportunity to put their ads in front of motivated customers who are ready to buy at the precise moment that they're ready to make a purchase. So if your transmission goes out in your car, what is the first thing you do? You Google transmission repair shops in your area. So the consumers that you're getting through your paid search are consumers who are ready to take action immediately. So the benefits to search engine marketing or paid search is that the results are usually more relevant to the intentions of the person viewing the advertisement than display advertisements, which we'll talk about here in a second. The people seeing your ads through paid search ads are people who are searching terms related to your product or business. So you know that they are your customers. Also, paid search ads appear at the top of the search engine results page, so users are highly likely to read and engage with them. Some may not even realize that they're ads. You just, a lot of times will click on the first result that pops up when you search a term. Paid search advertisements typically have a higher click-through rate and drive more conversions than the display advertising, because people being served the ads are ready to buy, and they're actively seeking out a product or service. But that doesn't mean that you should discount display advertising. And so let's talk about that next. So with targeted display or targeted digital display advertising, this is a type of digital marketing where we target potential customers based on a wide set of variables, things like demographics, online habits, and even interests. So unlike pay-per-click or cost-per-click advertising, targeted display advertising is charged by the impression, or the CPM, and not how many people clicked on the banner ads. So the way that we track these type of ads are a bit different than the paid search ads. So target display advertising, it's comprised of images and text that can be static, animated, or video. So if you see the graphics there, the top ones, those are static ads. So when we put together a campaign, we put together a series of different sizes and then serve the different sizes to the consumers or to the target audience. You can also do animated banner ads, which are a series of 2 or 3 images that rotate to create like an animation in your ad. And that really draws the eye in and is interesting and catches people's attention. Or you can do video ads that can be pre-roll or mid-roll. And so they're shown before watching a video or like partway through, and they're non-skippable 10-second ads. And that's a great option if you have a video already produced. The nice thing is that you can tailor your campaign based on your creative assets that you already have or that you have budget to create. So if you don't have a video or the budget to create a video, then you can do static ads or animated ads and still have an effective campaign. You can also test what ads are performing well and which ads aren't. So when I work with a client on a digital display campaign, I recommend a minimum 3-month campaign so that we can look at the results after the first month and make adjustments to make their campaign smarter and work better for them in the coming months. Digital display ads encourage users to click the banner and visit a destination URL. So a lot of times your website or maybe a specific product page or an appointment page. These ads do not show up in search, but they're placed on sites through ad networks, Google network being one of those. The great thing about digital display ads is that you can refine your targets by using contextual and behavioral targeting. So you can put your brand in front of people searching for related products and services online, but not necessarily like specifically your product. You can put your ads in front of people who have visited your website and then left, and people visiting your competitors' websites or people reading content online related to what you sell. So how does this all work? And like I said, this is just kind of a Cliff Notes version of all of the different capabilities that you have when it comes to digital advertising. With display advertising, you can reach your audience while using a variety of tactics. And usually when we put together a campaign, we use multiple tactics instead of choosing just one, because they all kind of work together and increase the effectiveness of your campaign. So one of those is targeting or geo-tracking, where we use data to ensure your ads appear in front of people in your particular service area. So in your county, your state, your city, or even zip code, or you can do a certain radius from your business. So let's say you want to target people within a 5-mile radius of your location. There's also site retargeting. This is where we market to people who have visited your website. We do this by placing a pixel on your site or like certain code on your site so that we can retarget the people who come to your site. Unfortunately, 97% of site visitors leave without taking action. So we show them your ads while they browse other sites so that they're reminded to come back when they're ready to buy or take action. Then we have search retargeting. And this is where we serve ads to people who are searching for your products and services or similar products and services. And then keyword contextual targeting. This is where we serve ads to those who are reading content related to your product or service. And it's based off of keywords or categories of content. And we show your ad to those who are reading topics relevant to your products and services. And this is one of the reasons why I recommend at least a 3-month campaign, because after the first month, we can see what keywords are performing well and then subtract the ones that aren't. So more impressions go to the ones that are working, and we can make adjustments and add to keywords if needed. Then finally, we have geofencing. This is where we target based on our location or another location, and we target a specific geographic area or a specific address. So for example, if you're a dentist and you're running a whitening special, you can serve ads to people who have searched terms related to teeth whitening in the last 30 days, people who have come to your website, so you're retargeting them, and then people who go to certain websites or certain apps. So it's based off their behavior. So you can geo-target certain areas based on demographics, income, interests. So for my whitening special, I may want to geo-fence the location of a bridal show on top of all of these other kind of parameters and tactics I'm using. I may want to geo-fence the location of a bridal show and serve ads to people who attended the bridal show for the next 30 days, because as we all know, brides are likely to want to have their teeth as white as possible on their wedding day. So with digital display advertising, the average click-through rate for campaigns is 0.10%, which may not sound very impressive, and to be honest, it really isn't. But the digital display campaigns, with digital display campaigns, there are more metrics that we need to consider other than just click-through rate. So we look at how many people came to the website after we served them an ad, and then how many people actually visited a location after seeing an ad. So I'll talk a little bit more about that a little later. But a study found that 33% of people are likely to make a purchase as a direct result of seeing a banner ad. And 44% of those consumers did so without even clicking on the banner. So just because you don't have a high click-through rate, it doesn't mean that those ads aren't getting the job done. That's why I don't judge the success of a digital display campaign based solely on click-through rate, because really targeted display banners or campaigns have two main purposes. The first is to increase brand awareness, and the second is to drive traffic to your website. They rarely result in direct conversion, but they do play a major role in influencing online and also offline purchasing decisions, and especially keeping that top of mind awareness. So going back to my whitening example, just because I did this campaign doesn't mean that I'm going to see a huge uptick in whitening sales. immediately, but I've planted that seed for when they do need whitening and increase the chances of them seeking me out when they do so. So some of the benefits of digital display is that it's affordable. It's fairly easy to implement. You can layer the tactics to be more efficient in who you're targeting. And who you target is based off of subject matter and people who actually have an interest in your business, not just random people. And it does have a lower click-through rate, but it can be great for brand awareness. So now let's talk about video. So you can incorporate video into most of the types of digital advertising that I'm talking about today, especially like the display advertising. But there are some video specific advertising options through platforms like YouTube, and then something called OTT, which stands for over the top. With over the top or OTT, your video ad plays during streamed or live shows on various devices and apps. So the ads are non-skippable. And you want to use OTT when you have video content you'd like to promote on something other than traditional TV. And this video content reaches an audience that is committed to the content that they're consuming. So you're not just getting the person who has, NBC playing as background noise. You're getting the people who have intentionally gone and sought out that particular programming and they're watching it. So OTT utilizes all different types of devices, apps, and networks. And you can see here on this slide, this is just a sampling of some of the platforms that we can advertise on. So what are the benefits of something like OTT? First of all, smartphone users spend more than 3 hours each day on their mobile devices, and a lot of that time is spent engaging with video content online. So you're able to reach consumers in a new way by serving engaging video ads within stream content that they are there to watch, and it's not just background noise. And then also with OTT, you can be much more targeted. So you can reach the right audience based off of the type of programming, the geography. You can target a specific city or county, whereas you're not able to do that necessarily with traditional like broadcast television. So like I have a client who is located in a small town just outside of Omaha, and rather than buying advertising on a network like ABC or NBC, which would quickly eat up his budget, we're focusing on streaming so that we can target people within his zip code only. So ads can also be targeted by behavior. So like if someone's searching a certain term or reading content that's related to a business, ads can be also targeted to a desired demographic. With this type of advertising, most of the time there are minimums, which can be a drawback. So you have to spend a certain amount in order to even run a campaign. And also you have to have obviously a video to show. So if you don't have a video, it can get costly to get that created and edited. So this option is not for everyone, but it's a great option if you have the budget and if you have the creative assets already. Then we have native display. So native display ads are designed to match the look and feel of the surrounding content. So native advertising can take many forms, including product placement, reviews in a video, display ads on a page that blend in with the surrounding images, or written advertisements that exist within a piece of content. So if you've ever been like perusing a website, specifically like a news website, sometimes there will be like a box with, it looks like content that's on the site, but then when you click through, you realize like it's more of an ad and takes you completely away from the article or the content that you're reading. That is a native ad. So the great thing or the benefits of native ads are that they appear more trustworthy because they don't appear to be an ad. They blend in with the content of the page. They're less disruptive and have a lesser impact on the user experience for that same reason. So sometimes, you know, you'll be on a site and then all of a sudden an ad pops up, you have to click out of it. And like, sometimes that can be really frustrating. So that's what we mean by less disruptive. Native ads kind of blend in with the content, and sometimes you don't even realize that it's an ad until even after the audience engages with the ad. So native ads a lot of times will result in increased engagements and a higher click-through rate compared to traditional display ads. And then what seems to be everyone's favorite, social media. Social media marketing is the use of social media platforms to connect with your audience, to build your brand, increase sales, drive website traffic. Really, the possibilities are endless. And this involves not only publishing great content on your social media profiles, but listening to and engaging your followers, analyzing your results, and running social media advertisements. So there are so many aspects to social media and so many different platforms out there, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever it may be. There's a lot of options. So what I tell my clients is to go where your target audience is. You don't have to be on every single platform or advertise or engage on every single platform. Pick and choose the best fit according to your audience, because otherwise you're going to spread yourself too thin. Now, one of the common questions that I get when it comes to social media is, and specifically Facebook, is what is the difference between a boosted post and an ad? Because I think sometimes there's confusion that they're the same thing, but they have different functions and different capabilities. So a boosted post is a post to your page's timeline that you can apply money to in order to boost it to an audience that you choose. This is the simplest way to advertise on Facebook. And boosted posts are different from Facebook ads because they're not created in Ads Manager like the back end, and they don't have all of the same customization features. So when you boost a post, it'll show up in your audience's Facebook newsfeed as an ad, but a lot of times it just looks like another post. So you can also select Instagram as an ad placement for your boosted post because Instagram is owned by Facebook. And you can choose a post that's already present on your page's timeline and boost it based on who you want to reach. So you'll pick a target audience of the type of people you want to connect with. So, you know, women 25 to 54. You'll also base it on your budget. So you'll tell Facebook exactly how much you want to spend over the course of the entire campaign. And then you'll also specify how long you want the ad to run. And the nice thing about a boosted post is that you can kind of monitor what ads are, or not ads, what posts are performing well organically. And then if you have one that has a lot of engagement, you can go back, even if it's from a couple days ago, and you can boost that post so more people see it. Now, boosting a post is still considered an ad, but then there's another aspect where Facebook ads, they're created through Ad Manager, and they offer more advanced customization solutions. So there are a bunch of advertising objectives to help you reach your specific business goals and the audiences you care about most. So what more can I do with Facebook ads versus just boosted posts? You can choose different ad placements. So when you boost a post, you're able to check or uncheck whether or not you want to place your ad on Instagram, in addition to Facebook, mobile, and desktop, or you can just choose mobile. With Facebook ads, you get the added benefit of choosing placements in Facebook News, feed side ads, messenger ads, Instagram stories, articles, and then also with the audience network. So you have a lot more capability and a broader range of places where you can place ads. You can also use specific ad objectives. So boosted posts allow you to focus on website clicks, page engagement, and local business promotions. But the full ad system and ads manager lets you choose objectives like store traffic, conversions, and even lead generation. You also have a little bit more creative control when it comes to Facebook ads versus boosted posts. So you can create carousel ads, add specific descriptions, you can add call to actions, you can choose different images, and that's just scratching the surface as to like the formatting and stuff that you can do with Facebook ads. You can also use advanced targeting capabilities with Facebook ads. So with boosting posts, you can decide on interest, age, and gender for your ad targeting. With Facebook ads, you can use more advanced tools to create like overlapping audience types and lookalike audiences. So if there's a particular business that or organization that has a similar audience, you can do a lookalike audience, and so many more capabilities that we can't even get into, and we haven't even scratched the surface. So if you aren't getting the traffic or engagement on your organic Facebook posts or even your boosted posts, Facebook ads may be something that you want to consider. And I always have clients start with boosted posts because just to kind of see and test things out, and then we can always start up a more advanced Facebook ad campaign. So I think the biggest thing is that choosing the tactics that fit your marketing goals, your budget, your audience, and timeline is key to effective digital marketing campaigns. When choosing what digital tactics to use, I always look at what other marketing tactics we're using and layer the digital with those tactics. So for example, if I have a client who's sponsoring an event like a local charity run or a sporting event that's going to draw a large crowd, we would layer some targeted digital display on top of that and geofence the event so that people who come to the event will see our brand through the sponsorship, and then we'll follow them and serve them ads on their mobile devices for the next 30 days through our display ad campaign. And then I might also pair it with a radio campaign after the event. So it may seem like our brand is everywhere to those people who attended the event because they're seeing and hearing our brand from a variety of channels, but that's because we have specifically targeted that audience. So you don't want to rely solely on just one tactic. Anytime you can layer, that just improves the effectiveness of your campaign. Or let's say I'm a business and I'm hosting an open house at my location. I might send a postcard invite to a certain zip code or certain neighborhoods. Then I might create an event for my open house on Facebook and boost that, or I might create a Facebook ad that targets the same geographic area. The great thing about digital advertising is that you can track it easily. So you can track how many people clicked on the ad, how many people visited your website through the ad, and what they did once they got to your site. You can see how many people were served the ads and then came back to your website later without even clicking on the ad. You can even set up conversion zones around your business to see how many people who were served an ad actually walked through your doors. So there isn't just one single metric that can show the success and effectiveness of a campaign, just like you can't just rely on one tactic for a campaign. And like I mentioned before, layering digital with other tactics is important, and therefore important to look at the effectiveness of the overall campaign, not just the digital aspect. So finally, make sure that you have tracking set up properly on your campaigns. This includes Google Analytics, code from your ad reps to make sure you're capturing the information that you need. And when you're choosing a digital agency to help you, always ask to see a sample report so that you know what to expect and so that you get the information that you need to assess whether your campaign, or at least the digital portion of your campaign, was effective. So these are just some of the things I include on reports for clients, especially on like the display ads. So impressions, how many clicks, the click-through rate. But like I said, I don't base the success of a campaign just on the click-through rate. I really look at the visits to website, or it can also be called the view-through rate. So these are people who were served the ad, didn't necessarily click on the ad, but came back to your website later. Because remember, people, there's a large percentage of people who don't click on the ads, but just having that brand awareness is helpful. And then also conversions. So whenever I do a campaign, I always set up, well, not always, but depending on the type of business, I'll set up a conversion zone around their location so that I know not only how many people were served an ad, but how many of those people actually walked through the door. And then I always include a sampling of keywords and domains on where my ads are being seen. So that way I can work with the client to refine those keyword lists and see what we need to subtract and add. So to wrap things up, think about back in the day when people used a phone book, or I use a phone book more, I guess. If someone was looking for a plumber, they would go to the yellow pages to find the phone number. Did they choose a random plumber? Usually not. They would usually choose a plumber to call based on if they had heard of the plumber through advertising or word of mouth, or if they had friends who had a good experience with a particular plumber. The same can be true for any type of advertising, really. You want to have a presence and get your brand out there through your ads. So when people need your product or service, you are the first business that comes to mind and you are the one they search online. So if you would like more information about my business and how I can help coach you through developing a digital strategy for your business, you can reach out to me and set up a call. Or if you just have any questions in general, I know I've covered a lot of information today. There's a ton more information out there, and hopefully this presentation has added some some clarity and some giving you some more knowledge to go out and make decisions about where you're spending your advertising dollars when it comes to digital advertising.
All right. Thank you so much, Amanda. That was so much information, and that was just really great information. I feel like it's a really good overview of everything. Not everything, of course, but a lot of what you can do with digital marketing. Um, I just want to give it a couple minutes here just to make sure no one has any questions. And then, Amanda will pop in and she can answer those. If anybody wants to throw those into the chat, this up on screen right now is my contact information. So hopefully you wrote down Amanda's, but then also if you didn't, or you have a question about Grow Nebraska, or you want help connecting with Amanda, just feel free to send me a message, either in my email there, or my phone number is also up on the screen. So we would love to help connect you, help you figure out and navigate this kind of confusing world. I asked a poll question in the middle of the presentation, just asking what you guys thought was the most intimidating of the different strategies that were presented here. And it looks like there was a spread that everybody kind of thought something different. So lots out there to do. I'd love to help you if you have specific questions. I'm sure Amanda would love to help you if you want some help. Here's a great question from Paige. Question for you, Amanda. How often would you recommend refreshing your Google ads?
So are you talking about like Google AdWords or display ads? Because with Google AdWords, like whenever I run a campaign for a client, we're looking at those every other week to just optimize the keywords to make sure that we're making the most out of their budget. With display ads, I like to change things up, and it kind of depends because for my clients, I do a lot of digital display ads. So a lot of times, like I have one client that every month, they have multiple locations. And so every month we're changing up kind of the areas that we're targeting based off of where they need to see their sales increase at each location. So it kind of depends. If you're serving similar audiences for a couple months, I would try to change those out every couple months just to see some fresh creative and catch people's eye again. But if you're serving your ads to different audiences in different geographic areas, then you probably don't need to change them out as often. And a lot of times, like what I do on a monthly basis too with clients is I look at the ads and even like the ad sizes to see what sizes and what content is performing better than others. And then we make adjustments on a monthly basis to make sure that, again, they're getting the most out of their budget, because I don't want to be serving an ad that's not getting very good engagement. I'd rather put those dollars toward the ads and the ad copy that is. And some of that, it takes a little bit to get started with that. And you have to do a little bit of A/B testing, even with Facebook ads, to see what's going to work for your business. I mean, similar to, if you're on Facebook and you're doing posts, I'm sure you're looking at what posts, get the most engagement, and you want to make sure you do more of those types of posts. The same is true with advertising.
Great. And then there's a question too from another Amanda asking, for someone just starting out, is there a good place that they can go to find walkthroughs of setting up ads, or about the process of tracking and understanding that ad? I mean, is there good tutorials out there? Does Google have some resources?
Yeah, I mean, Google has resources. Facebook has some great resources for doing social media. ads. I mean, there's tons of information out there. I don't think the problem is finding the information. It's just being able to understand it and I guess filter through, because there's just so much information out there. But yeah, I would go straight to the source where you're placing the ads. You know, if you're doing Facebook ads, then Facebook has some great tutorials, and they'll do training also. So
yeah, great. So obviously lots more information out there too. Again, if you need help connecting with some more information, feel free to reach out to either of us. We'd love to help you out. Looks like that's about it for the questions. So I think we can go ahead and wrap up. Thank you again, Amanda, for preparing that presentation and for answering some questions and sharing your knowledge. We really appreciate it.
thanks for having me.
Thanks. All right, everyone, have a great Thursday.